Good for them. Okay. uh, yeah. So, my friends, thanks for joining us for yet another game of Dungeons of Drakkenheim. This is our 10th session, number 10. So, very glad that we are all, not all, but most of us are here right now, and the last one will be joining soon if all goes according to plan. So, who wants to give us the recap for last session?
Oh man, I
I can
got a
do it
lot
quick
of
and dirty.
notes. Yeah, go for it,
The
Chad.
I think the things I took from it was we were meeting up with Rain from the Amethyst Academy to get another clandestine job offer in the basement of the spooky haunted manor. Eventide Manor, I think is what it was. We came across some more what we have kind of pegged as individuals from the Queen's Men, some kind of ruffian-looking folk that were, while cordial and agreeable, there was an air of menace about them and foreboding power. Uh,
Yep.
we ended up letting them scurry off after we kind of maybe intimidated them a bit with our posturing. Um, but we were kind of concerned that they were already poking around there, presumably waiting for us or maybe looking for River or doing something. We don't know if they totally left, but when we ultimately left off, we were just meeting with River and probably her arcane golem in the basement. She just greeted us.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We started at the hooded lanterns area at their gate, and we
Shepherd's
said
Gate.
goodbye. We said that if we came back, we would, like drop our weapons, call out, and they would let us in, and that we would potentially bring the head of the Rat Prince. Yeah, and then a lot of role play. Chad ate a note, or
The only
Veldre
way
ate
to
a
be
note.
sure.
We got paid money for our
Yep.
delirium.
Yeah, that was the other question. Do you remember how much delirium you sold? If you still kept some of it for who knows what reason? Maybe negotiate with the other real factions, or if you
I think
sold it
we
all.
only sold the big guy, which was the
Yeah.
1,200 gold pieces that we got, the
Like,
1,000 nominal, and then she gave us 200 on top.
yeah. But she, I don't know if I made that clear in the last interaction, but she would have invited you to show her all the delirium you had, even the chips, and she would pay them for them accordingly. So you can see that the intention is that she wants all of it for her, but again, you could keep it as a leverage, other guys.
I think we discussed afterwards that we were all just going to keep it on us. Like we were on the hook to sell the big one because that was kind of the deal. But I don't know if we want to really go spreading around the delirium so much. I don't know if we want to put evil into the system or if we're gonna, I don't know, maybe Tristan needs to use it to stop his night terrors. We don't know yet.
Yeah, I think we've heard enough negative things about the Amethyst Academy that we don't necessarily want to give all of this horrible, poison stone to them. And we don't really need anything with the money yet, so I think it would change if we decided we wanted to buy something.
Oh, I guess that was the other thing from last session. Didn't we note that Jonathan has to roll now for the contamination and potentially wants to find some healing for that this session or another?
Yeah, so we're going to need to go to the Druid at some point.
Yeah, I remember that as well. So, yeah, okay. So as we go back, if that, I believe that was all, right? So if
All I got.
that's the case, let's go back to Eventide Manor. You all remember correctly. Remember the name of the place. The place where you found out that you were being tracked by the the warrior roguish lady called Ute. But then you let her and her companions go away. So after you entered the basement, River lights up a torch and welcomes you in. It seems like you found your way here. Good. Now you know one of my secrets.
Yeah, it is. It's got nice ambiance in here, actually.
Well,
Felder will gesture to the piano in the corner and say, "Do you play?"
no, this manor was already in this current state when I first found it and decided to use it for my own benefit. So I didn't had anything to do with the decoration you see. I'm sure you have heard stories about this place. Kids say they see ghosts, other mysterious activity, correct?
They do. Perhaps it is you, or it could be the ne'er-do-wells that we ran into upstairs. Do you often have guests in the upper mansion?
There was anyone else besides you? You know who they are?
My brother got to know them. I think they were patrons of the Skull and
Sword.
Sullen Sword.
Well, maybe we will be need to be changing our meeting place if someone else knows about this.
They left before we came down into this basement, but they know enough to have been here before we were.
Yeah.
Or whatever
They were
that
curious on
means.
their own regard.
Let's hope. But about the ghosts, yeah, I have never seen any undead spectral activity in this place. But whenever I have to have a more discreet place other than my room at the hotel for my experiments, I usually walk in here while under under the illusion spell of invisibility. So the ghosts opening and closing doors that the children saw might have been myself.
Well, I apologize for not taking similar precautions. I'm afraid we are not as skilled in the illusion magics.
Maybe that won't be as necessary at this time of the night, or so I was hoping for. But if you decide to walk in here in broad daylight, I would expect you to be more cautious.
Yeah, that would make us seem relatively suspicious. Actually, speaking of suspicious, Veldert will like gesture down to the ashen runes emanating from this point of ejection in the center of the basement.
Oh, and
Do you know anything about
Tristan
this
will
in your
get
learned
out of the
opinion?
way.
Well, out of sheer curiosity, I investigated the reason for the fire that burned down this place a long time ago. It was before the meteor fell, even. I believe some 28 years ago. And it seems that there was someone who lived here who had ties to the Amethyst Academy, but who mysteriously vanished in a particular evening. I believe that some ritual or some experiment might have gone wrong for said maid. But the archives are too secretive for me to find out more about what was the name of said mage, and at the end of it all, it doesn't concern my research on the delirium, so I eventually didn't. I eventually decided to not look any further into that.
Speaking of your research, is there Veldra made it seem, I don't want to put words in your mouth, that perhaps you were going to share some of your results, or at least what you were working on?
Yes, but
Yes, that'd be fair to say. Let's since we're all kind of in this together now, you know, trusted hands, as it were. How best can we help you, River?
well, yes, of course. As a matter of fact, I have been studying delirium for the best part of this last 5 or 6 years, and I believe that the properties, this arcane anomaly that is delirium itself, can, and this is more of, this is the polemic part of my opinion, should be used for our own benefit. For example, how many of you dominate the art of spellcasting? Is it all of you other than Jonathan?
I think we're all relatively versed in the coaxing of the arcane in one form or another. Dominate is such a strong word, you
Yeah,
know.
maybe dabble.
Well,
Yeah.
even for the the most common spells, there are some who require sometimes expensive materials as focus. Just give you one example. For you to conjure a familiar, a spirit that takes physical form, so it can aid you in your endeavors, usually you have to spend a large amount of gold, the material components, right? I have found that delirium actually an alternative to such spells. She gives you a more detailed, more academic explanation, but what she means is that any spells that require expensive components, that require components in gold, right? For example, the Revivify spell, which has a pricey 300 gold gem, uh, you can use delirium of similar or uh, similar value or more, and you can use that, burn through that instead of consuming your material.
presumably into the same conversion as they sell at, sort
Yeah.
of thing.
So if you would need 3 fragments, 100 gold, for it to compensate for a 300 gold. Example.
Butte.
And
No.
beyond just that, there is the possibility of serving as a conduit for the crafting of magic items. At first, we believed that it could only be used for consumables, such as potions, but we are very close being able to craft unique magic items. The laboratories of the Amethyst Academy and the the exemplars that you have found, such as the large crystal you brought, are certainly going to advance our researches manifold. And of course, you are acting as agents of the academy. You would be the first in line to receive the benefit of being able to do a test drive such magic items with their purpose. Does that sound like an interesting negotiation we could have moving forward?
I
But
mean,
you you're just using it to draw power. You aren't studying anything about controlling it or reversing its effects. And you can Tristan visibly looks kind of crestfallen. That for at least the purposes he was there, this
It's
appears to be a dead end.
one thing does not separate from the other, you see. When we craft, for example, magic sword and use the delirium as uh, to determine its potency, the crystal becomes stable. The crystal
Oh.
becomes mundane. It no longer provokes the contamination of the flesh or any of the ill effects that it normally has. We're still exploring if the change is permanent, but it most likely. And if that's the case, we are turning something poisonous to all men into a weapon, into a useful item.
yeah.
I see that.
Felder interrupts to say, or a tool that could be utilized by all for the betterment of all of humanity. Just trying to get Tristan back on board with. You just got to expel the venom. You need the venom out in order to create enough. Well, you also need enough horse blood, but yeah, you can make the anti venom with just enough. We follow you. We follow you, River. We totally get it.
Perfect.
That being said, is that what the next bit of intrigue you have for us? Are we to take some prototype, totally untested, dangerous, highly powerful thing, and then utilize it in some manner and report back to you the findings?
I would say that not quite yet,
Oh
but
yeah, cart, horse, understandable, understandable.
but I will make sure that for the next successful trek in the ruins, we will have something like that for you.
All right. Powerful magical prototype on consignment. All right. I could see. I mean, we do got a pretty busy itinerary as I turn to the group. Um, I pres I presume you probably got a lead for us on the next thing you need done, and we'd be happy to add it to the docket. I mean, pretty full to-do list, really. We got, and then Feldred like lists off a couple of things that are clearly lies to everybody else. Puts the Rat King in there. Rat King, we gotta take care of that. Or Rat Prince,
The Red
probably the whole
Prince.
Rat Monarchy, maybe. Yeah. Um,
As far as I'm aware, Redlings are very. They seem to be reproducing very quickly and very much. So I don't know what would killing their leader accomplish. They would just, in a matter of days, select a new leader and cycle turns to the start.
I would say it's more of a personal vendetta than one based in logic. And Tristan will turn to Jonathan, and Jonathan, I'm guessing, will be like seething, clenching his jaw. But Tristan will feel the presence of Phelan stepping behind him. He'll be like, oh, and step out of the way. Let him.
When you said agents of the Amethyst Academy, do you just mean the odd job, say the one that we just did for you? Or did you imply something else?
Well, not that it's a bad thing for you to be just an associate of sorts, but there would be recognition, maybe even more prizes that accompany a a shift in social status for those that help the Amethyst Academy further their goals. I can't see how that will not likely be the case.
And
yes.
this status, um, uh, what do you use your status for? Is it simply to get these odd jobs and fund your research, or does it go any deeper?
You're asking for on my point of view?
Yes, yes, I'm sure it's unique to each member, but maybe for a better understanding.
Well, I for one aim to use these researches on delirium to enhance my curriculum as I continue my arcane studies. I believe that in 50 to 70 years, I aim to have already mastered some higher level spells. Maybe in 100 I could be granted the title of Archwizard. Something that's within my grasp.
It's good to have a
Quite the
50-year goal set, you know.
Master Kova always said, yes, you need to be looking at least 50 years out at this point in your life.
Well, it might sound surprising, but Some of the arch wizards that I studied with under the academy were centuries old. So it's a long-term goal.
Understandable. Understandable. Well, how about goals in the more short term, perhaps? What is it that we could do to further help you on your 50-year sojourn towards arch magistry?
Of course. There is a group of dwarfs who are prospecting near the scar. The scar, you see, it's how it was nicknamed. A place where a piece of the meteor, as after it fell on the city, a piece of it got detached and it cut open a ravine in what was once a street in the outer city. It has popularly become known as the Scar. And it seems that in that particular place there is an abundance of delirium growing. But that particular spot has been dominated by the Iron Helm dwarfs. They are two brothers and two sisters, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Plus all their workers and miners that they hired to operate in that place. Well, they are the number one source of delirium for those merchants that you see on the caravan court here in Amberwood. The rumors say that they also supply to some of the factions. That they have a multifaceted deal with many players on this board. What I want, sorry, what the academy wants, it's a exclusive deal with the Iron Helm. We want to offer them a price for their whole operation. Every single piece of delirium need to come to the Amethyst. We could try to invoke the edicts of Lumen, for it's the law of the land that only the Academy must deal with arcane phenomena, but this city at this point is a lawless land. So instead we will offer them gold. I'm sure that that is what they are looking after at the end of it. So we are. I need you to tell the Ironhelm dwarfs that the Academy is willing to pay the market rate for every single piece of delirium and cover all their expenses. But we need them to cut ties with whomever they are supplying delirium. Be it merchants, be it the Hooded Lanterns, or even the Queen's Men. That's the case.
Okay,
And
that
if
sounds like a robust deal. to provide the. Is there any additional help that the academy could provide? I would imagine if we bring this offer to the Iron Hand dwarves, that depending on however many other people they are supplying, they're ostensibly going to make that many enemies by cutting them off. Is there any protection that the academy could provide?
Well, as for myself, I try not to venture that deep into the haze. That's why I'm sending you for this. If they have any other demands, such as protection, as you said it, you can bring those demands to me and we can negotiate it. But
Okay.
thinking of it now, if you could provide their demands, that would be much better for us.
That sounds good. That sounds good. We it will probably take a little bit for us to, make our way to the outskirt or to the outer city, uh, and find this ravine. There's only so much water in this in this cursed blighted place. It should be relatively easy to find. Are you expecting a reply? Is there any time frame here for this?
Well, I would ask that you do not delay too long. Do you think that in 3 days we can have an answer?
I'll look to my group to see if that seems reasonable.
There and back. We might be able to go. I've never been to the river before.
Do presumably only Tristan really has a sense of where the scar is?
Is the scar within the city itself? Like
Yeah,
within the wall?
she will show it to you on the map as soon
Okay.
as my foundry stops lagging. But it's near the crater, but on the outer city, outside the walls.
Oh, okay, I see it. Oh yeah, it does go through a lot of houses, it looks like, though.
Yeah. Ah.
Okay.
Right.
It's pretty close to Shepherd's Gate too. I wonder if the if our farm friends made it there. Maybe we could do a twofer. That's for us to worry about. You don't need to worry about that river. We're just, spitballing ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and if there's anything else, I mean, I know of something else that could be useful, right? The trek towards the scar by itself is already a risky endeavor, so I suppose I could provide you with some supplies to help you on your way there. And she gives you a list of possibilities, but she can give each one of you a uncommon level consumable item. So either an uncommon potion or an uncommon spell scroll, which I believe covers even spells of third level.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. And but the The asterisk here is that it must be of a spell from the wizard spell list. It cannot be from the cleric, from the paladin, whatever.
Okay.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Well, I'm sure. I'm sure that would aid greatly in the endeavors. Uh, we thank you for yours and the Academy's hospitality. Um, it's certainly is a good portent of things that could come, things to come from working together in a more cohesive official unit. And I'll
Speaking of working together, beyond these items, do you offer anything else for these services, or is this more a show of good faith?
Of course, if the deal is closed as a way of furthering the academy's goals, you will be handsomely rewarded for your efforts. We can discuss in which way you wish to be rewarded, be it gold, be it magical items. Of course, I have not forgotten about uh, our the the investigation that needs to be done on some of you to find out a little bit more of your uh, adaptability to the haze that I clearly notice that you have. But of course, that could be done on your time.
We'll step behind Jonathan. Uh, so, I mean, that reward is contingent upon them accepting your offer, but would we be compensated for just the delivering of the message, even if they choose not to go along with your plan or exclusivity? Something for us to compensate for the trip.
Well, I for one have not had the experience on all my years of being rewarded for failure, but I can see to that if you so desire.
Well, are you saying that we are not just messengers, but we are the negotiators?
Well, if they have some demands that I have not foreseen, you could bring them to me, and then we will see how to develop the negotiation further. But the more you can accomplish by yourselves, you already know how the academy uh, that the academy recompensates accordingly to the efforts, as you have been already.
handsomely, I might add. I'm sure that the dwarves will also see the uh, that they're better off perhaps dealing with a single source uh a single source distribution. Probably going to be, I mean, they've got a mind for numbers, and they, I mean, I might be speaking out of turn, but they've been known for their love of commerce, and I think that the coffers of the Amethyst Academy would state even their desire for um, currency.
Perfect. It seems that we are all on the same page. If I have, if I can to answer any more of your questions, this may be the time, or if not, I would ask for you to leave me for the time being.
Oh yeah, we could give you a little bit of space. Do you mind if I just look at this over here quick fast? And Elder wants to go look at this ashen humanoid and try and investigate this Chernobyl ass misery shadow.
Okay, go on ahead. Uh, it's go ahead. Make. Do you want to make an investigation check on that? Nice.
Oh, it's actually just dirt. It looks like it's just
Yeah.
suspiciously piled bits of dirt is what it looks like. It must have been here before the fire, I think, Phelan.
Or the fire made it, and some unfortunate soul was here while it consumed this place. But yes, it was probably here before the fire.
Well, again, it was an unfortunate time here at Amberwood. People still remember the night of the fire, so I really don't know what to say. It is an unfortunate event.
Fortunate seems to be a word used around these parts more often than I was expecting, but here we are, I suppose. Shall we be on our way?
Yeah, I'm good to go. How about yourself, Tristan? Has Jonathan got all his faculties back together? I saw you frothing at the mouth at that rat talk earlier, big guy. Don't think we didn't notice.
Tristan will agree and walk this. Yes, perhaps fresh air would be good as well. Been in this dug basement long enough.
As Vildra walks out, she's gonna run her hand along this piano to see if it goes doo-loo-loo-loo-loo.
If it goes what?
Ba-da-la-da-la-da.
Okay. Yeah, the piano is very out of tune. Most of the keys don't work anymore, so yeah.
Sorry, Jonathan, that probably was trying.
Yeah, whatever happened, I'm sure it was awful.
Oh, welcome, Sarah Ray, you're here. I inadvertently also drug you outside of the teleporter. I'm now outside of the basement on your character. Here we go.
I
Beautiful.
am as well. I don't know
Yeah.
how to get back into the
You.
real world. There we go. Thank you. Ah, I gotta stop pushing buttons.
I think the
We're on now.
drag. I think you can drag yourself through the walls or through the teleporter. I think it can be one of the things.
Sorry I'm late. Does anyone want to give me the 2-minute synopsis of what's happened?
I would suggest that we do a quick break, shall we?
Yeah.
And then we
Yeah,
can.
sure.
Someone can give the
I could give you the blow by blow.
recap.
We'll hear about this task, and then we'll tell you.
Okay. I'll not give you any details until you give your word that you're going to look into it, okay? But hear me out. You know how many adventurers, just like you, and even though I don't like them very much, even those guys like the Hooded Lanterns, they have their gate. But they still sometimes find themselves in a difficult spot. How do you do to get in and out of the city safely? You cannot, right? Unless, what if there was a way? Hear me out. Every gate is dangerous on their own. The Queensmen don't have a gate. The Hoodlanders do. The Falling Fire have one, and the other three are controlled by monsters. So the gates are not an option for us, right? Not just us. Any adventurer, any party that wants to remain neutral and explore the city. And mind you, not only the ones hunting for delirium. There are people who pay for an excursion to find their ancestral home back in the city, to find their an ancient heirloom or whatnot. I never seen any of those coming back with their heirloom. Either they give up midway or they venture through and don't come back. Because, you know what, we wanna know why? Because it's fucking dangerous. So you have the 5 gates. None of those are an option. You can try to climb the wall, but then the fucking gargoyles attack you. And they just don't bite and claw at you. They grab you out of the wall and they throw you in the ground. You know how many d6s of fall damage that is? A lot. And then you have the sewers, but the sewers are, they keep changing, you know. It's weird. I for myself, I tried it once, but I mapped out the whole thing, but on the way back it was different. I almost died. So yeah, the sewers aren't good either. So 100 people die every year trying to go in and out of the walls of Drakkenheim. But I heard a rumor. And I trust you guys so much. Not because you have proven your worth to me, but because I can see it in you, in your eyes, that you are all trustworthy, you know. I will trust you with this lead that I have. That we might find a way of doing that much more swiftly, much more tranquil. Are you interested?
I mean, I think I think my man was clear when he said, we'll judge after you tell us what the thing is. You haven't told us yet. I mean, it's a passage of some sort that you don't know if it is safe, but it could be. But you do know that everything else is dangerous, which I think we're all in agreement on. Everything else is dangerous.
Yeah. Well, you on your way there you could find some rats or some husks, but I already know that you can deal with that. So instead of that, yeah, I don't want to just go here and tell you, but this is good lead. This is something from the old days. It's a smuggler's passage. Okay, back from before the time of the meteor. I will not give you the address. Only if you give me your word.
I mean, what are we being sworn to? I don't know what we're agreeing to. Our word to not share the location. Our word to go there. Our word to not tell anyone.
Clear it
Those are
out
the
and
only
make
two
it
things I
safe
can
for the
permutations I could think of.
the Queensman.
Yeah, your word of not telling anyone else that is not from the Queensman, and that you will take a look at it, and if you do find it, that you bring back it to me, that you found a way. Sounds fair, doesn't it?
I mean, yeah, we do all the investigate. You got the lead. You give it to us, and we'll check up on it. And if it's safe, i.e., we come back, then maybe it was. Maybe it turned out. But if we
And
don't, then I
Jonathan,
get
yeah, sorry.
no.
Jonathan says, "Well, you sound like a brave man, having traveled through the sewers and made it out alive. Why do you have this lead and have not pursued it yourself?"
Because this is. Uh, it's hard for me, you know. It's. I've been there, done my fair share of adventures back in the day, but it's not for me. I swear. I almost died many times. You probably are much more suited for that than. I try to avoid going into the rooms. I only go to Buckle Down, but that's a different story. Much more safe to go there.
Say we find this passage in. Who's to say that you and your friends and the Queensmen just don't make it into another one of these heavily guarded gates that still prevent people from getting in and out of the city?
Well, yes, I mean, we try to avoid contact. We don't want to harm the other the other dudes. They sometimes just get in our way, but we try to avoid open confrontation. You know.
But
Yeah.
still, my question is still on the table. Is this, say, if we were to find this passageway for you and assure that it's cleared or cleared it out, do we have a guaranteed passage through it in the future?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. But just the four of you. Okay? Can we do it like that? Not anyone else.
So like a guest pass, situation like on the last Friday of the month or no? No, okay.
That's about right. But I mean, you will find that the more you get to know us, eventually you might even think it's cool and all. You might have even join us.
I suppose. Would you mind if we get back to you? And
And Jonathan looks to Mal and says, "Excuse us so we can discuss amongst ourselves. Come back in 5 minutes and we'll tell you."
I love the power play. Kick him off his own table. Please leave us.
Yeah, okay. I need to go to the bathroom. Anyway, so
We don't need that much detail, thank you.
it's quite the elegant exit, though.
Yeah.
Flipped
Good
and faded.
the token flip and everything. That was
Yeah.
slick.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
that was unintentional, but it was fun.
Butte.
It would be
So-
nice to have a way in and out of the city, but I don't know if these are the sorts that we want to have dealings with. If I recall correctly, Tristan, you said not too long ago that you don't deal with thieves, and that is the only vibe that I've gotten from each and every one of these Queensmen that we've run into.
Yes. Mel seems to be filled with noble words, but selfish deeds.
And
This
deeds
is
even
true. He
seems
sounded like
generous.
Robin Hood, but then he steals from whoever to buy a round of drinks. What good does
For a
that
bunch
do?
of thieves. Yeah.
Veldra's
And so
face is like happy and alight and says, like, did you guys notice how like he like almost didn't say anything about anything? Isn't that pretty cool?
I don't know why. Okay, this is off topic. I don't know why, but I always thrive on this charlatan type of character. I don't know why. I might have a talent for that myself.
Dude, nailing it. Full
Yeah.
zone of truth dancing. So it's very cordial
Yep.
too, you know.
Mhm.
He's clearly also echoing the talking points of like, what are you guys about? And then
Mm.
it's this thing. It's like, yeah, me too, totally.
That is
For these
exactly
reasons.
what I'm into. For sure.
Yeah. Veldra recognizes game. Game recognizes game.
I love it. I am hopelessly smitten by this liar and cad. So I'm gonna try and do less talking so I don't get us into a pickle. It's up to you, boys and girls.
As much as it would be useful to have a way into the city, giving these people, and Tristan will eye the other people who are, half drunk at their tables, swearing at each other and trying to pick fights, giving them an entrance to the city might not be the best idea.
Doesn't strike
We've
me
already found
they're
other people
ones
who.
that
What's that, Ryan?
I was just going to say, it doesn't also strike me that they're necessarily ones to say, keep their word. So maybe even if we did get a guarantee now, seems unlikely that we will have even access without guests.
Yeah.
Also seems kind of stingy that they wouldn't give us a guest pass.
Well, you got to think about the other people that they're helping. They can't have bottomless help. They've got to curtail. Who gets the help? Which is the most just thing to do, is to ration
Ration
knowledge. Yeah.
Yes,
I
to
will say
ration an infinite resource, of course.
this this discussion of the difficulty of entering the city does make me have more respect for our loonies of the falling fire. They do control a gate. There's something to their power that we don't understand.
Well said, Tristan. Well said. This has been a past 48 hours of illumination. First, we find out the competency of the hooded lanterns. We find out the altruistic and noble intentions of the Queensmen.
Tristan will
and
smile at that.
and the relative power in order to control a monster-laden gate by our our farm friends. Let's see.
Did River give us at any point? Did she give us a way to get into the city, or a hint that they had a way into the city? Do we know?
She did mention their tower, like the Amethyst Academy thing, I think, or the clock tower. Something about that. I remember a clock tower being mentioned, but
The clock tower is one thing. It's a very mysterious place in the city, in the inner city, and then you have the academy tower. That one is the one that was struck by a piece of the meteor and it's still standing in defiance of gravity. That is the inscrutable tower.
Okay, but River didn't hint that they had control of a gate.
No.
I think Veldra would lean in, be like, so, I mean, how rude is it if we all just walk away from the table before he comes back? Is that? It's kind of an answer, really? Is that the answer we want to give? I'm unsure.
Jonathan's
Well.
going to lean in and say, listen, who knows what they want other than to buy their thieves' drinks? Which isn't a horrible thing to do. But would it not be bad to have our own route into the city? They can't stop us from using it if we know it's there.
Veldra sees no, has no qualms about the acquisition of knowledge is worth its own pursuit. I mean, so yeah, more information never hurts.
Do we want to introduce? He spoke highly about going into the city and the power that can be attained there. Do we want to empower these thieves in that way? We could have the same entryway by getting to know the Hooded Lanterns. We could even rest in the city. Our, as Veldra said, our farm friends seem to be able to waltz their followers through. If those old men and women can make it into the city, I'm sure they could bring us as well.
Well, that is yet to be verified if they actually made it into the city.
True.
But supposedly.
Well, he seems to be taking an exceedingly long time in the bathroom.
It must
I
have been a
think-
two.
When you say that, you can see that he was watching on one of the windows, and then he
What you do with this?
sorry.
He's got an eye for talent.
It took you sorry. It took me so long. My bad. So, did you guys decide it?
Veldra's abdicating from this because she's still smitten. She's ready to agree to all things, but please vote amongst yourself. I know where Tristan stands on it clearly.
Yeah.
It's between Thalen and Jonathan right now.
Jonathan is always going to side with Tristan.
So the nays have it.
Unless
Unless
Thalen really is
Thalen-
leaning in.
As enticing as your offer sounds, in our discussions, we realized we actually have a rather tight next few weeks with various odd jobs, as you so astutely noted. We are quite busy right now, and maybe unavailable to assist you with this particular quest.
Yeah.
Well, that's a bummer.
But a passage stays a passage, and the lead is still a lead. You still have that
Going
to yourself.
anywhere.
Yeah, it's not like it's a time sensitive issue per se. So
It is because that would be really helpful if we find a way to go there. So if you guys aren't going, someone else has to. This is really our one-time offer.
seeing the tide or seeing what the group has decided, Veldra will chime in and be like, we appreciate the offer. It's a very generous offer. It's a noble, magnanimous effort which to help the citizenry of Emberwood and Drakkenheim as a whole. But I think my compatriots and I are unable, as Thalen said, to help you in this endeavor. But yourself, being a man of with an eye for talent and a great stable of 100 strong, strapping, resourceful individuals, will no doubt be able to see it through to the end. And we appreciate to learn about it, your adventures and pursuits in the coming days.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's always so bad when you lose a wager, you know. Now I own some coins to Ute. Well, be seeing you all.
Veldra will give a little wave.
Tell Ute we said hi.
You can feel that he's waiting for some of you to ask about it, but eventually he goes over.
Doing the over the shoulder.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll go talk to the president.
Yeah. To see if you guys mind at all.
I think that's a better move because I was gonna allow me to dispense some good deeds in charity and buy a round for the room. Let me be the hero of the day, but I get to save my copper now. I was like, well, he left all his eggs and tomatoes and rashers of bacon here, and all.
Yeah.
Whole ration of bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Jonathan, do you want the bulb of the radish or do you want the leaf?
Yeah. Neither.
Oh, okay. Once you made it through all that bread, that whole loaf of bread, I didn't know your mouth could get that wide, but all
Well,
that flute playing. So.
he had nothing to say, but at least he had nice hair. I'd see his barber.
Yeah, very well coiffed. Heavens. Must be the
Well,
natural oils.
having killed some time, what time do we think it is now? Is the sun coming up?
Yeah, you can wait for a little while longer until it is time. Oh yeah, you see the sun rising.
Shall we go see Nana and get you cured, Jonathan?
It sounds like a good plan, and if for some reason we can find no other way into the city, we know where we can come. But I do not trust that man. His hair was too nice, his words were too smooth, and he took a very long time in the bathroom.
He could be fastidious. I mean, clean hands and all, maybe.
Too clean. Shall we?
Yes.
Indeed.
Okay. Go to the shrine of the old gods.
That's huge.
Good usage of the windows, the window wall. I love it. So if you take one step back, Ryan, you'll get the impeded vision line.
Don't even know it. Yeah.
I just love Foundry. I love all the little thingies.
Foundry for the win. Yeah. I have so many maps. Most of them from Emberwood. I don't think that we are ever going to be needing, but there they are. Okay, so to the Shrine of the Old Gods. This is a smaller map, but it's a cool one. So the Shrine of the Old Gods, it doesn't appear in the Amberwood Village map, big one, but it's a place where the locals tell about. There are standing stones that look as old as the village or as old as time itself, that stand in this shrine within a small grove of dying trees on the outskirts of town. You see that there are inscriptions on each stone and names of primordial gods of old that after the the arise of the sacred flame religion taking over were almost completely forgotten except for a handful of individuals that kept traditions alive. You see, walking out of her hut, the old druid, Zoya. Let's see if I have the incorrect token. So for now, let's just use the thingy here. I do not have a transparent image, so we have this big white square on the way, but this is old Zoya. She welcomes you with a kind smile as she walks from her hut with some offerings to put on the shrine. Good to see you all.
Morning, Nana Zoya. How are you this morning?
Not so good. My back still hurts. But I have to keep on pushing for. If not for me, then what would become of this God's forsaken place, right?
Indeed.
Too
On your
true.
on that note of you rescuing and protecting us, my brother, something has happened to him. Perhaps you could take a look at him?
Well, sure. That's all that I'm useful for these days, right? People don't visit me unless they want something. A healing spell? But why not? Let me take a look at you. Who's sick again?
Jonathan sheepishly raises his hand.
You? With all that health? Managed to become sick? Okay. I'll take a look. Oh,
Jonathan says something just feels off.
well, yes, I bet it does. You're not just sick, you're contaminated by the purple toxin. You have been adventuring in the ruins, haven't you?
Jonathan nods, and his eyes get big. He looks kind of scared at old Nana Zoya.
Why do you young people always want to risk your hides out there? Don't you have anything better to do?
Should we?
How will we find a way to stop this? to reverse it if we don't explore and look for our savior, a solution. And Tristan will be watching attentively as Zoya goes over, trying to study what she's doing, trying to learn anything she can.
Well, I never been to that place and I've never caught anything like that. Okay, but I understand. It's all that heroic inspiration in you. Well, for me to heal you, it will be a bit more expensive than normal healing. Just for the sake of off topic here, normally for someone to cast purge contamination, they need expensive materials. But Jonathan in particular have a feature, right? That it does not require materials. Is that what it says on the subclass?
I have something like
The
that.
caster doesn't
Where
need
is it?
material components to cast a spell on you. In addition, if the spell would normally cause you to gain exhaustion, okay. Yeah, purge contamination does cause the contamination levels turning to exhaustion. So that would happen, but in your case, it does not. Where is purge contamination here on the spell? Here. Okay. So it would have a component of 100 gold. It didn't show it to you, right?
No.
We try again. Huh. Okay.
Okay.
This is the spell that old Zoya will cast. It would require 100 gold of alchemical fluids or holy water, and the spell would consume, but in your case, no longer. But she doesn't cast her few spell slots for free. So a third level spell costs 150 gold per of her work. Okay. She takes
Okay.
payment in coins,
Oh.
gems, or relics. So if you had a art object or something else uh, that with that value you could exchange instead of paying her with just gold. She doesn't accept delirium. She wants distance from that. And other than that, she can cast any druid spell of first, second, or third level, and she has a different price for each level of spell. So if you guys want something like, I don't know if aid is a druid spell as well as a cleric one, maybe, right? But
I think it is.
yeah, those spells with longer durations, if you want any sort of buff, you can pay her
Okay.
for it. And she also creates, she brews potions of healing. And she sells each one for 50 gold.
So Jonathan's gonna give her 200 gold. 150 for the purge contamination, and 50 for a healing potion. So he's
Make it
down to 175.
do 125 because I will split. Tristan will go up and split the cost for purge contamination with you, and we'll also buy a potion. So I'll pay 125 as well.
Okay, so I paid how much?
So
125?
125.
125. Okay, so 250. Okay.
Thalen is also gonna buy a potion. Well,
Okay.
So
Potion.
Jonathan hands over his gold and says, as Tristan hands over his gold as well and says, "Dear Nana Zoya, we trust your healing powers."
Okay. So it's one potion for Jonathan.
And one for Tristan. And I think Thalen wants one too.
Anyone else?
I think Veldra's just walking around the ring, examining these stones and seeing if it evokes any, if it reminds her of any, what these old gods are. The shrine to this old god. I don't know if she knows them or not.
They are making a comparison with real life religion. They are what in our world would be considered pagan gods. They you have the description of each of the old gods in the Sebastian Crow's guide, but they have reference they reference the Celtic gods, the Norse gods, and even there is a old god of madness that it's called something very similar to Sheogorath from the Elder Scrolls.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it's a very cool world building piece, but yeah, they are an option for anyone that wants to play a cleric or a druid and doesn't gel neither with the Sacred Flame or the Falling Fire.
There's also a Barbarian of the Old Gods, which is really awesome.
Yeah.
But I went with the Corrupted Brothers angle instead. But the Old God Barbarian picks up people and can use their enemies as weapons.
That's always fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else wants potions? Talon, would you like to buy a potion?
yes.
Yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me add that to your inventory real quick.
Okay. Cool. I was flailing around trying to add it myself.
She still have 2 potions for sale. She doesn't
Oh
have...
shoot, I didn't mean to do that. My bad.
I just...
I
Could have been worse.
I wanted to read it.
Yeah. I refunded for you.
Her.
You broke the flask.
Yeah, I just pounded it right in front of her.
Jonathan's gonna go ahead and spend his gold on the 2 more potions she has if no one else is gonna buy them.
Okay. The last 2.
Yeah, I mean, good to have that.
Oh, I almost put it on the druid's inventory. I know that there is. I have seen in play, but I don't know how to configure, and I don't know the name of the module. But there is a module that you can click on the NPC token, and it opens his store, so you can buy exactly what you want. But I don't know the name, neither how to use it. Monday.
I think the last one I used was I think it's Monk's Enhanced Journals, but I don't think he's updated that for version 13.
I have a lot of monks modules, but they never got updated. Well,
So remind me, it's an action to use a healing potion?
now it's a bonus action.
It's a
Oh yeah,
bonus
now it's
action?
a bonus.
Why
yeah.
they do that to me?
Oh my gosh, okay. Good to know.
Tristan is suddenly flush with bonus actions.
Yeah. It's all Baldur's Gate 3's fault. Sure of that. Not that every other game wasn't using it as a house rule.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do the. You can drink them as a bonus. If you spend an action, you get max healing. If you're gonna feed it to somebody, you always have to use an action, too.
Okay.
That's house rule, right?
Oh yeah, that's Chad's house rule.
Yeah, I was gonna say I use the same house rule. I don't think it's a rule.
Don't commit it to memory.
It's
So,
it's a good one.
delete.
I think we can apply it to here if you like that. I think that's a good use of it. But I mean the bigger potions, they will heal for a lot. They heal for 20 and 40, the largest ones, right?
Yeah, it is something like that.
Wait, how many do the potions heal for?
The basic one,
These-
the one you just bought, heals for 10 if you use an action. 10 HP.
2d4
Okay.
plus 2.
Yeah, but if we use this house rule for the bigger ones, for the supreme healing, I think it heals for 20 or 40 HP. But yeah, it will appear in late game, so it makes sense.
Where I'm sure Jonathan in late game with an action will do a lot more than 40 damage.
Well, hopefully he doesn't take more than 40 damage. But anyway. So, alright, we've met with the old druid. Does she have any other? Jonathan's going to say, do you have any advice for us now?
Yeah, we wish to find a way to reverse this curse. How do we find the answers?
Well, my advice to you is don't get killed. I you are out there. Very dangerous endeavor indeed. So try to be safe and look out for each other.
But of course, Nona. But we're very fortunate that you look out for us as well, Veldra says from behind this thing.
If we learn of anything, we'll share it with you.
Thanks, please. I want to know. And do visit, not only when you need healing.
And Tristan will drop the radish that Jonathan didn't eat and put it as an offering on the shrine.
Nice.
And walk away.
Yeah, do we notice anything in particular that she might appreciate if we brought as like a gift or something like that in the future, just by like observing the shrine and stuff around us?
She seems that it seems that she, all that she have here around here, the shrine, the you see some plants, some incense and stuff. It all looks like that she bought from the merchants. There's nothing here. It's stuff that grows. She didn't look like she has anything that she plants on her own because the soil is infertile, right? So anything that you find on the merchants would be a good gift. Maybe some fruits
Tristan-
and vegetables.
Does Tristan and Jonathan have any insight because they've grown up around her and probably had interactions with her? Does she have like a sweet tooth, or does she have like a favorite thing that she likes?
Yeah, she really enjoys this very rare candy called chocolate. It's very, very new, very interesting.
Okay.
From the exotic glands.
Yeah.
I hear it comes from beans of a fruit.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
wild.
Especially the Kit Kat ones.
Break me off a piece of that.
Let's go. And so, because of Jonathan's background or subclass, he has no exhaustion, and we're just rolling.
Yeah, you are good to go.
Awesome. Well,
mean,
thank you.
So
Say-
the sun is rising now then, or risen.
Yep. So, are you going to go to the ruins or do something else?
I mean, what do we have on the list? We have the stomp the rat prince. We have the tentative job from
Yeah.
River.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what else do you guys want to do? Because those are like the leads we have. But what do
I
y'all?
pulled up a map, and so Champions Gate is the one that the falling fire people go through, right?
Yes.
And that's
yes.
I think that's still the
near-
monster one. The Champions Gate is the one that like our party died, or the guys that we crossed with like died at or lost.
No.
They ran away.
Well, then
Champions Gate is controlled by the followers of the Falling Fire, and King's Gate is the one occupied by trolls. Heard from them.
But Champions Gate, is that near the rift with the dwarves at the Scar?
I think that's Shepherd's Gate.
I think so as well, but let me double check before I say anything stupid. No, actually, let's dial back on the map real quick. Shepherd's Gate. Let me. I will draw here a ellipse right here. I have to put some pins on the map on places you have been already. So this here is Shepherd's Gate, the one that you've been with the Hooded Lanterns, right?
Yeah.
Let me.
But the Falling Fire wanted to go through here, and we didn't want them to do that. Unsuccessfully.
The one below that, the one right here, it's Temple's Gate. It's controlled by monsters. And the one near the crater, it's Champion's Way. The name of the road is Champion's Way. Then Champion's Gate is the one controlled by the followers of the Falling Fire. So it's the one near the crater. That's why they want it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the closest one to the Scar, in other words.
Okay. Because we could talk to our buddies, potentially escort, and then go the dwarves.
I like it. Sounds good. Do the twofer.
Yeah, as much as I completely underestimated these fools. They seem to have more power and secrets than I expected. And their ability to manipulate delirium. Besides Nana, they're the only one that's has a useful power to control in at least some way.
The cult?
Yeah.
Okay.
If only
They're
Nana was a
devotees.
faction, we would be pro Druid.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure if Nana was a faction, we would be suspicious of her too.
That's true. Yeah. I don't know. Team Chocolate. I think I'm for it.
Yeah.
I like it. So I guess here's the question: do we want to because I guess we got a half hour left, but less than that. What's the next step? Like, do we want to meet up with the cult guys and see if they've actually left yet? If they need an escort?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Or if we
escort
could like
them and then
hop
do
on
the dwarf?
something to start our next section with, or our next session with an actual
To do.
doing something.
Goal. Yeah.
Would be my thought.
I'm on board with that because the going back to kill the rat prince is, I mean, we've already been there, and that's
I do
would
want to kill
curry
that rat
favor.
prince, but yes.
I
Who
guess the idea
knows?
is we could technically get 2 birds out of a shorter thing then, because the rat prince is like the opposite of where those other 2 things are.
But we also have 3 days. We could just kill the rat prince and then do this two-hand double thing next time. Because if we don't do the rat prince now, we're probably not going to do it for a while.
And it feels like the ratlings are amassing quickly. So if we want to cut them off,
Jonathan
feel like-
is obsessed with killing the rat prince because
It's
he
rats.
feels like,
let's do that then.
well, and also
I
we don't make friends that easily, and we trusted Zippy, and then
he trusted
we
us.
yeah, got to avenge that dude.
Okay.
Rat.
Yep. And then we can drop off the head with the shepherds, curry a little more favor with them. Maybe figure out what their next mission thing is.
I thought we heard about it in the camp that they were. I thought they were likewise doing an offensive at like a place deeper in the. Like they just won a thing deeper in the city.
Okay.
So I think they were trying to supply that. I might be thinking back too long, actually.
I don't remember it. Yeah, let's kill some rats. Let's do it. Do we go in through the rat's nest or do we go in through the sewers?
Let's go the secret way that we left, you know? We'll creep in.
Okay.
Okay.
Or we might not
Remember-
even need to creep in. We could just hard charge and just start murdering, maybe.
Everyone has legendary resistance on 1 save.
Nice.
I took
Yeah,
that
everyone
feat.
should have
Inspo as well.
Inspo.
inspiration. Yeah.
My goal is for someone at some point to use that feat. in past.
Okay, legendary resistance. I'm
It's
thinking back, and I'm like thinking about dragons. When I fought dragons, you do
Yeah.
something cool on them, and they're like legendary resistance.
So this is, let me go to the feat and I'll read it.
Yeah, I think the one you'll want to use it on, Jonathan, is like getting paralyzed. I mean,
Yeah.
poison's pretty rough on you too. Frightens.
Yeah, poison's
Mhm.
bad.
Yeah, it has 2 things. When you take a short rest 1 time, I can just make it so all hit die roll max for everybody. But I can only do it for 1 short rest. And then the other, you prepare a hearty meal during a long rest, and up to 8 creatures who eat it has hearty resistance, and if you fail a saving throw, you can then choose to succeed instead.
Okay, so basically, if there's a roll, like someone does something on you that has poison, and you have to roll to see if you're poisoned, you can say, "I save."
Yeah. Like when Tristan fell in the hole, if Eric remembered I could do it, I would have said, I save and don't fall in the rat pit.
Okay.
But alas.
But alas. So, next step, the Hendrix farm. See what the pilgrims are up to.
Next step, kill some rats, and then we'll
I think
double
we're
back.
going back to the rat,
Going back
the
to
rat
rats.
nest.
The rat's nest. Okay. Peoples, shall we call it a session now? Or do you want to see?
Starter.
Yeah, start with the adventure per se. Next time.
Just start ambushing from the sewers the way we went out.
Okay.
That sounds good.
People's next session would be the December 25.
Oh, it would be Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does that look like to you guys? I'm always available, but I know this is the rough part of the year, end of December, early January.